Between the village of Dernstein and the next village of Weißenkirchen, there's a path that leads away from the main road and brings you here to this little oasis where we can really come close to the terraces that really are characteristic here in the valley. This is one of my favorite parts of the Wachau. These terraces have been here for a long time. Practically ever since people started growing grapes here, they found out that they needed more land, more space to grow these, and so they started chopping into the side of the hills, creating these wonderful terraces. Mind you, it was all done by hand, and you cannot imagine the amount of work that went into this. These terraces form a bit of a challenge for the harvesters today, because you cannot really fit a tractor, and also, more importantly, there is a rule and a principle here in the Wachau that all harvest has to be done by hand. So we have 3 harvests, not only 1, but 3. So 3 times the farmers have to go up these terraces and pick the grapes. Now we have 3 harvests here because since the 80s, they've started categorizing the white wines into 3 qualities, 3 stages if you want, depending on the harvest, which means depending on the amount of alcohol in the wine. The light ones being harvested first in September, sometimes in August if the season was very nice. The second harvest is in October, and then the last one is in late October, November. These 3 categories makes it easy for people to pick out the wine that suits their needs. The first wine category is very light. It is named after a grass that grows up in the terraces, a fluffy light grass, and that is the reference to the first quality of the wine, which has an alcohol maximum alcohol percentage of 11.5. The second quality is called Federspiel. Now Federspiel was this lure dummy that was used during falconry. In medieval times, people wanted to hunt with the falcon, and they had to train these birds, and they used this very special kind of lure dummy. Now the reference here is a bit tricky. It has to do with the flight of the falcon being very balanced and elegant, yet very strong. And this is how the middle category wine should be experienced. This has a maximum alcohol amount of 12.5%. Now the very last one and the very high-end quality is called Smaragd. This comes from the name of Smaragd Eidechse, which translates to emerald green lizard. These lizards are found all across the valley, and they love to sunbathe. They love to soak up the rays, and the reference is pretty clear that the grapes for the high-end wine, they are out the longest. They are out in the sun for the longest duration, soaking in the sun and creating a wine that is richer and a more full body experience. These wines have a minimum alcohol percentage of 12.5 and then can go up. These terraces have been split up into different parcels. All of these have different names, and because of the many microclimates in the valley, they have, of course, different characteristics. And they can be easily recognized on the bottle, on the label. You can read what terrace plot they are from. One of the most famous ones is called Achleiten, which is one of those terraces that is closest to the river, and you can see that behind me. It is very close to the water, gaining access to the cool air that flows together with the river, giving it a feature that many other terraces are not privy to.